Hey y'all, I'm back. Welcome to the channel. As you can tell by the title, I had a 1 pound 4 ounce baby. He was born at 23 weeks. I just hit 23 weeks. We're currently still in the NICU, but right now I'm in his nursery at home. But we're still in the NICU. We've been there. He's been there since birth. He'd never been out the hospital. He's never, nothing. This will be his first time even coming out of the hospital and coming home, car ride, all of that. We've been in there going on. His birthday is next month, which is May 23rd. It is April 13th. So we almost been in there. Come next month, a year. 11 months we were in this hospital. Coming up on 11 months, would have been in this hospital. So yes, y'all, all this time I was in the NICU, being a mom, you know, praying and having faith for my son. But we're here now, so if you're watching this video, then you know everything is well. So continue to watch the video so you can get a little bit of my backstory. So yeah, welcome back. Well, I'm welcoming myself back because from here on out, you're going to be seeing my new lifestyle, literally the in details of everything of my life from here on out. So with that being said, I'm Shania. Of course, everybody knows Life of Shania. Yes, let's get with it. Okay, I got pregnant in December 2023. I found out I was pregnant on January 9th. I'll insert the clip. And then I just was enjoying my pregnancy. I was working at this job. I was experiencing bleeding. What else? I was experiencing bleeding during my pregnancy. Like, period, for my TMI, but period bleeding. And first it started off as spotting. I went to the low urgent care and it was like, it's called implementing bleeding, however you say it. Don't quote me on what I'm saying right now. But yeah, as the weeks went on, I had to stop going to work because it seemed like every time I do strenuous work, I would see the bleeding. So I stopped working and it stopped. So, well, long story short, my job fired me because of that. So yes, so we're fast forwarding. Like I said, I was experiencing heavy bleeding, soaking pads. And I wouldn't really cramp when I bleed, but it would be cramping, like almost to like I thought I was having a miscarriage. So I went to MUSC, emergency room, women's emergency room, and they told me, you know, this should pass by. So as the weeks went on, the bleeding got heavier and heavier. So I went back. Hey, listen, I was dripping blood going to the bathroom because they had to examine me to see if I wasn't dilating or experiencing a miscarriage. So yeah, wasn't experiencing no miscarriage. His heartbeat was 140, 150, good. He was moving around. He was doing everything he needed to do. So where's this bleeding coming from? Okay, so they put me on light duty. I cannot work, period, at this point. So, they scheduled me an appointment with a high-risk doctor. So they did an ultrasound. They saw a blood clot. And they don't know if it really was a blood clot, but that's from what they could see on the ultrasound. That's what they gave the form of. It was just a big, huge clot of blood. When my sister told me, she was like, maybe you were supposed to have twins. Maybe that was a baby that didn't fully develop. Who knows? But they was like, it's harmless to me and my child. And it should just pass right on through. You'll see like blood clots come out because it should just pass through. So one night I was just experiencing like the cramps got crazy. So I went in, I was telling them like I'm cramps like is unbearable at this point. So they examined me again and was like, you're not dilated. They sent me home with medication for the pain. Okay, I was taking that. That was not helping. It seemed like when I took it, it made it worse. But that probably been in my mind. And I went on the next day. My cramps just got worse and worse. So the next day I went on. But later on that night, it just was, oh my God, like I was crying. I was like, Mom, I need to go. I don't know what's going on. I need to go to the hospital now. And we got up like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I went to the emergency room. They put me on the labor and delivery floor, and literally I was 2 centimeters dilated when they checked me. My mom already left because she was like, oh, I'll be back. You know, they're going to tell you the same thing, so I'll be back. Come to find out, I was 2 centimeters dilated. 3 days I was in labor. 72 hours I was in labor. So since that first day that I went, I was in labor, but I haven't dilated yet. I was just having the contractions. Okay, so they immediately took me to the floor. They told me he may not come today. He may come next week. Yes, you're 2 centimeters dilated, but he may not come today, tomorrow, next week, or the week after. You just might be just 2 centimeters dilated and no baby. Okay, so okay, so they came in, they spoke to me just, you know, for precautions, you know, just to let me know what should I expect, you know, during this time or so on. So when they checked me again, I was 4 centimeters dilated. It was like, okay, give this girl an epidural, let's go. So they gave me an epidural. I couldn't even get the epidural right then and there. My heart, I was just hungry, lightheaded, like, I don't know what was going on. My heart rate was in the 230s. They had to lay me to my side so I can calm myself down. Yes, I did say my heart rate was in the 230s. Yes, I did. So they finally went on with the epidural. Boom, we got that done. I laid down. And then the rest was after that. So I was like, I gotta pee. So they hurry up and grab the basin. I had to use the bathroom and that. And they checked me after I used the bathroom. It was like, she's 8 centimeters dilated. Mind you, I just got the epidural like 10 minutes before that. They was like, let's just take her down to delivery room. So I'm pushing. I started pushing at 11:27. By 11:30, my 1 pound 4 ounce baby was here at 11:30 on May 23rd, 2024. My 1 pound 4 ounce baby. And they told me, don't be alarmed if you don't hear no crying. He don't have no lung development and all of that. You guys, when I said he sounded like a baby kitten, he sounded like a baby kitten. And if I still got the clip, I will insert that so y'all can hear him. Yes, he sounded like a baby kitten. They didn't have to resuscitate him. They didn't have to give him nothing. No CPR, nothing. They put the breathing tube right on in. And that was that. So he's crying now. Like, he's crying. Obviously, I'm still up and open. He's crying. They're looking at him crying. I'm like, hey, hello? Well, he was like, sorry. I'm not going to say my last name, but they was like, sorry. We're just shocked that he's crying. Like, I did not expect him to be crying this loud. So they got him situated. They got me together. They wheeled me back to the room I was in. Within 5 minutes later, by the time I got to my room, my son was coming in behind me. And, I will insert a picture of him. Okay, later on that day, I got settled in. They got to him. They took him down to the NICU floor. He didn't have a chance to stay in the room with me. Why? Of course, because he's 1 pound, So he was, he didn't have that much chance for survival. So I had to think in my brain, like, yeah, I just delivered this baby, but they're telling me he's not going to probably survive, So it was so much going through my head. I was crying all day. Like, come on, I had my baby at 23 weeks. So no baby is supposed to come that early. So, yeah, so as the day went on, they took me back, they admit me to a regular room, and I had to start breastfeeding and this, that, and the third. Not breast, I actually breastfeeding, but pumping. Of course, because he's small, he can't latch on. So my son didn't have basically no skin, he had nothing. He was 23 weeks old. He hadn't developed much at all. So he didn't have basically no lungs, no skin, no nothing. My son was literally in a plastic bag. Literally, not a plastic bag, but in plastic to control his body heat. Literally in a plastic. My son was in a plastic. And as the day went on, I went to go see him for the first time. Well, not, since we did skin to skin for a quick little second, and then they gave him and, put the breathing tube in, this, that, and the third. But after that, I went down to see him in the room, and of course I was nervous. Like, I wasn't nervous, but I was nervous, to be honest. I was nervous because, what mother wants to see their baby, going through something like that. And I literally went in there, and I was spending the whole day, whole night with him. So the next day came, I was in the hospital for like 3 days. The next day came, and they let me hold him. I will put a picture. Of course, I look terrible, so don't talk too much about me. I look terrible. I held him. As soon as they put him on me, it was like he was crying, but you couldn't hear him because the breathing tube was in. And they put him on me, and he just instantly just calmed down. His body just sinked right into me. And I just started crying because, like, my baby. And as the months went on, he was on every breathing tube breathing machine you can name. He was on every single breathing machine you can think of. Literally. If you look it up, he been on it. Anything to help you breathe, he was on it. And as the months went on, he was born in May. June went on. Things was just progressing really, really well. Come August of 2024, my son got sick. And he caught NEC. NEC. Necrotin. And I don't know how to say that word. It's NEC. I'll put the description, pop a little something at the bottom. I'll try my best, but if not, look it up. But I'll basically tell you exactly what it is. It's his intestines. A small part of his intestines was not functioning properly, so he had to go into surgery and get that little piece removed. And when I said my son did not know, they couldn't figure out what was going on, because at first it wasn't coming up as NEC. Then as they run more labs and everything, as he got sicker and sicker, here he had NEC. When I tell y'all, if y'all ever seen like a child in a NICU and they have to be in this incubator, like this little incubator thing to keep their warmth, to keep them warm, to think they're still in the mama's womb. When I told y'all my son was so big, he was basically about the same size as that. So if you seen that, just know that's how sick my son was. You could have he was so massive. His head, he was purple and blue. You could see his veins. He was so swollen. You could see all his veins. Oh my God, it was terrible. Like, I'll insert a picture of him when it first started out. And I was sad, and they do rounds at the hospital, let you know what's going on, what they're going to do, what medicine or whatever they're going to do for your baby that day. So, they came in, they talked to me. They was like, Miss, I'm not going to say my last name. We don't know the survival chance again for your baby. Like, we're doing the best that we can. He's on like the highest setting of the breathing machine. He was on the vent, the oscillator, everything. He was on those things, and it was like, Miss Graddick, we don't know what else we can do. We giving him antibiotics, but this blood work, we don't know. We just need him. We just have to let him show us what he can do at this point, because we done did everything we could. Yeah. And literally a few days later, my son was healed. So after that, Everything was going good, but he just still had respiratory problems. He had breathing problems because of he had premature lung disease. So, and pulmonary hypertension. So, yeah, so he was still in the hospital for that reason. To figure out his lungs, he had to get off the breathing tube and all of that first. So once he got on the breathing tube, he got to the CPAP. Once he entered the CPAP, he was on straight oxygen. Okay, so his stomach started to get enlarged again. And he did a swallow study and he had a floppy airway. So one of his airways wasn't fully developed as the other side. So they started to bottle feed him and he would aspirate. Aspirate means when you're swallowing, you're choking every time you basically take a breath, and he's basically breathing. He's basically breathing and swallowing at the same time. Don't count me on it, but that's basically the understanding that I got. What else? He was basically breathing and swallowing at the same time. So he had to get a G tube. So he got the G tube. Everything was going good. He was feeding, doing great. His stomach started to get enlarged. At this point, his stomach was starting to get swollen again. And I'll insert a picture with that too. So they thought it was the G tube with his feeding and all of that causing the problem, the formula he was on. So his stomach started to get enlarged again. So they was running ultrasounds. Ultrasounds, x-rays, doing everything that they could do at this point. And okay, so yeah, they did all of that, and then he had to go down to surgery again to take another piece of his bowel out. So now he got not two incisions. They went from the same incision. Okay, so now that same piece they had to take another piece out. Okay, he started to get good, and then we back at the same problem again. Now we're in November. I'm moving along. We're in November now. This is when he got sick. He was supposed to come home. He got sick. He caught a bad UTI. Listen, boys catches UTI. So my mom's with boys can catch UTI. So please be careful, because they can. I didn't know that until my son caught one. And that set him back again. He was on a breathing tube November, December, January, and February. So his stomach, he was on a breathing tube for 4 months. His stomach was getting enlarged again. We were doing good with the stomach, but now his stomach was starting to get enlarged again. He wasn't peeing much, or he was peeing a lot, so that was causing bacteria problems and all of that. So now here we are, stomach is getting stiff again. I say, hey, all right, this is enough. We got to figure out what's going on with his stomach. Come on now, let's run some tests again, because listen, this is going to be an ongoing problem. We don't fix it. So they had a meeting and they figured out that they were going to do an ostomy bag. So I was like, whatever he needed to get done, please do it, because I need my son home. Do anything to save my child's life. And it was like, Miss, my name, we're going to do everything we can to keep this boy alive. We're going to do everything we can do to make sure he's here. So he went down to surgery again for an ostomy bag. So now he has an ostomy bag and a G tube at this point. Currently at the moment, yes. And so after literally, y'all, when I said his stomach sounded like this, if you hitting a rock, I'm telling no lie, I'm being brutally honest. Literally, if you touch a rock, the concrete outside on the road, that's how hard my son's stomach was. He was so painful. Like if you just touch his stomach like this, he would literally, he's on a breathing tube, so you can't hear him crying, but you can see the tears just rolling down his eyes. Like you can see how miserable and painful he was. Like you could just look at him and see that. And fast forward, he got the ostomy. When I say y'all, I told them people when they take him down, please cover him. Listen, I'm a praying mother. I believe in God fully. God run through me, within me. So when I told these nurses, these surgeons, I was like, hey, listen, when my son come back, he better have a 6-pack at this point. Y'all, when my son came back from surgery, when I said my son's stomach felt like softer than a marshmallow compared to what he left me in, the state his stomach left in, When I said it felt like a freaking marshmallow, his stomach was so squishy. Like, you could literally just do this to his stomach. Like, it was just so soft. And shout out to them surgeons, because y'all may come across my video. Listen, y'all did y'all darn thing. And ever since then, we were flourishing from there. And also, I left the part out when I said his stomach wasn't so enlarged. The part when I said if you push it, he will cry. Y'all, they showed me an X-ray of his inside. When I said his stomach was so big, so swollen, his lungs and his heart was up here. Literally, I'm gonna insert a picture. His lungs and his heart was up here. That's how big his stomach was, how swollen his stomach was getting from the bowels and everything backing up because he wasn't pooping. So, yes. So, after that, after he came out of surgery, they let him, do what he had to do to recover. They got an X-ray of his stomach. Y'all, his stomach was it had looked so good. His lungs had gotten down. Mind you, he still had the premature lungs, so his lungs couldn't fully develop because of his stomach being so enlarged, so distended and all of that. So when they got an X-ray of it, y'all, I let y'all know his lungs and everything were back in place to where it needed to be. Listen, y'all, some people are don't believe in certain religions, but let me tell you, don't believe in God, but let me tell you, when I say God is an awesome God, please believe me when I say that. Listen, if it wasn't for my faith in God and this man up above, God up above, I don't know where my son or I would be, honestly. And so now he has an ostomy bag and a G-tube at this point, right now. Okay. So now he's doing good. He's doing awesome. He was on a breathing tube with the ostomy for a good month. So comes February, he's on. Okay, then he had to get on a respiratory medicine called I forgot. It starts with a B. It's a medicine that help the lungs and the airways open up. I forgot the name, but anyways, he was taking that. They was like, this would help him, his lungs, help his airways open up. Like, it would help him, get off this breathing tube. So I trusted them because at this point they know what to do. I don't. I'm trusting them with everything that I got right now. I'm trusting them, the Lord, and my faith. So they put him on that medicine, y'all. They was like, it'll take about a week or so to show us, like, how's his breathing and everything going. Y'all, within that week, my son was off the breathing tube. They said it would take about 2 weeks to show, like, everything for them to come down off respiratory support on the breathing tube. When I told y'all my son was off the breathing tube within a week, he was off the breathing tube within a week. So they put the oxygen on. He was on high vapotherm flow because he hated the breathing tube. He was on so many sedation medicine on his breathing tube because he hated. He used to thrash it out. He used to cough it out. He used to create so much saliva in his throat till it would come out. So he did things for this breathing tube to come out because he hated it. So he finally got off the breathing tube. He got the oxygen in his nose. He didn't go to CPAP. He just was on high flow and vapotherm. We started out at 16 flow. If my respiratory nurses know, or if y'all watching this, y'all know. He was on 16 liters of flow on the vapotherm. By that weekend, he was on 9. Mind you, he got off the breathing tube like a Wednesday. They put it in his nose. The oxygen through his nose. That Wednesday. By that Saturday, he was on 9. By that Tuesday, he was on 2. Like, I listen, God can strike me right now if y'all don't believe me. I got all pictures to show everything. By that next couple days, y'all, he was off. They was like, we're going to trust him. We know how he is. We know how Beanie is. They call him Big Ham now, but we know how he is. So we're going to trust him. He's going to show us. He's going to prove us. He proven us this much. I know he won't fail us now. So just like, we're going to trust him. Y'all, they took him off of the oxygen. mask, the oxygen, little oxygen, you know, when some people go in the hospital and need a little oxygen, that's what he was on. And they took him off, y'all. When I said my son breathes so amazing, like, it was just, oh my God, I didn't cry through this whole thing. I was stressed, I was crying, but when I said I broke down when my son did what he was supposed to do by breathing on his own, they call it room air in the hospital, on the NICU floor. When I say he was breathing room air, y'all, oh my God. And he wasn't eating for like a couple months, like a good 6 months. And when I said my son just was growing and growing and growing and growing, it was like, how is he growing and he's not eating? Okay, so fast forwarding back to the part. He literally got off of everything, breathing good. And here we are today. I'm filming this on April 13th, 2025. And he is doing amazing. So if you're watching this video, you know by now he's either home or coming home soon. So the next video you'll see me do is you'll see me bringing him home. But he's doing good. Okay, about on Wednesday, which was April 9th, he had to get a Broviac. For those who don't know what a Broviac is, it's a central line that goes to the heart that gives you nutrition and fatty medicine. So he will come home on a Broviac, a G-tube, and an ostomy bag. He will come home on those 3 things right now. Mind you, he was premature. He didn't have anything, so his body is still, you know, growing and developing as it needs to be. So he will come home on a Broviac, which is he'll come on TPN and lipids, and those are just to help him get up. At those 2 medicine is for him to gain the weight that he needs to on the feed that he's on. So right now he's on 90 milliliters of feed. So he has to get to 120, 140 in order to come off of both of those things. So right now he's currently at 90. So long story short, he will not be on it long. They said it's no point in him being here at this point to go up on this. Give him his Broviac and let him come on home. So yeah, like I was saying, he will be coming home on a Broviac. He has that. It's like a main central line to the heart. It's a port. That's a main central line that is a line that goes straight to the heart to pump the medicine through him. So he's only going to be on it for 8 hours. So majority of the day he'll be free of those lines or whatever, and then the other 16 hours he'll be on the medicine, the lines. But I'm so thankful God got me through this. God, I kept my faith. For my NICU mothers or any mother that is going through not what I've gone through but has a NICU baby, when I tell you keep your faith, keep your head up high, it's always a gold part at the end of the rainbow. You just listen. It wasn't easy for me. I'm gonna be honest, it's hard. You don't think it's gonna come to that point of you going home for my sake. But for you mothers out there, trust me, it gets better, it gets easier, and it gets happier. But you just have to keep your faith and stay strong, because listen, without faith and being strong, I'm gonna be honest, it's nothing. You have nothing if you don't have faith and putting God first. For the ones that do believe in God or what your religion is, put them first. Keep your faith and keep God first, because that's who and what is going to get you through your situation or anything in life. Keep faith, because listen, your blessing is always going to come. So thank you guys for watching. I know this was pretty long, but this is just a short clip to my story of my story. So anybody that would like to ask any questions of anything, please feel free to comment under, and then I can do a Q&A. But yes, he will be home soon. You guys will see a video of that. So I'll be, like I tell you, my life is going to be so different now, because I've had the little guy coming home. His name is V-Raj. We call him Beanie, aka Baycam. But yes, so you'll be seeing my life now. I'm currently in his room. As you can see, ultrasound pictures are right here. I'm currently in his nursery, And yeah, so you'll be seeing the life of me caring for a baby that has an ostomy, a G-tube, and a Broviac at home. So my life is going to be busy and very different. But thank you guys for so much for watching this video, and wonder why I was gone for so long, but I'm back, and now I'm going to have my little bestie with me. And thank you guys. But make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment, and share. And you guys, thank you again for watching. Bye.